In 2017, the Aprilia RSV4RR and RF won the Motorcycle of the Year. But they didn't just win, they dominated the field with a score of 93.78%. So what choice did I really have? I had to buy one. Let's get this thing inside and see just how much of a financial mistake I've made this time. Okay, so I mean, where do I even start? This bike is not looking very pretty. I think let's start at the front and let's work our way backwards and let's list off everything that's actually broken with the bike first. And then we'll come back and list off everything which is awesome about this bike, because I've either made a really good financial decision or it's gonna come back to bite me in the ass. Front fairing, definitely gone, like definitely busted. Okay, the air intake is also gone, and these things are expensive. Like, I really hope I can salvage these plastic OEM ones. Ugly green levers. I mean, they've got to go anyway because you can see they've actually been bashed in the crash, so that's got to go. Good to see the clutch actually works though. And you can see that this bike has had a left-hand low side as well, because most of the damage is on the left-hand side, the marks on the side of the tank. This is actually the fairing mount that's broken off, and it looks like it's sitting loose down there in the actual underbelly. I hope the quick shifter's all right, because this is taking a real bash. Like, this is actually supposed to sit up here. So we're gonna have to try and salvage this, maybe a new rod, but this is actually bent. So the Moto rear sets, very, very cool, out of the UK. It's actually bent. It's actually got bent brackets. So fingers crossed I can fix those brackets. Carbon on the back here, totally loose. That's gone, that's gotta go. So the shark fin as well, it's lost its carbonesque. Is that a word? Carbonesque, when carbon goes like ugly and disgusting and old and you can't fix it, even with clear coat and sandpaper. So that's gotta go. The seat actually came with the bike, but it was ugly and disgusting, so I took that off anyway. But these fairings on the back actually go for a bit of money. So anything that's a genuine Aprilia RF factory fairing is worth a bit of cash. So obviously these little things will go because we will paint the tank. Yes, we will paint this bike. So yeah, not too bad on the left, manageable, I think, manageable. I'm just really concerned about that there. The right side, this is how that air intake is supposed to look. Well, sort of. It still doesn't look like it's sitting up like that the way it should. So we'll have to inspect that. Everything is so dirty. Like, it's just a disgustingly dirty bike. I really hope I can get this outside shortly after I've finished yabbling on and actually give this bike a really good clean. There's nothing worse than working on a really dirty bike. Everything here looks like it's intact. Through all the radiator system, the fan, everything looks like it's okay. It doesn't look to be missing anything. Obviously this is all broken off, lower fairing, but I'm pretty sure the mounts are okay, so I can probably sell that lower fairing. Luckily, the Moto right-hand side rear set is okay. Nothing too much back here on the right-hand side. Even the tank actually looks like it's fine on the right. Just needs some freshening, some freshen. It needs some kensifying, some oneL moto-ifying effect. Okay, so that's the bad things, and it's not that bad, to be honest. Like, I think it's manageable. The big financial risk here is that by rebuilding this bike, can I actually get my money back when I go to sell it as a track bike, or am I gonna lose money because the track bike market is not that hot at the moment, and I've got a massive tendency to go too far and too blingy on my builds, so I could end up costing myself an arm and a leg. But let's take a look at what's good with the bike and why I bought it in the first place. Okay, the first thing, the bike is actually straight and it's got two wheels. Very rarely do I buy a bike, like if you look at these bikes, that actually have everything intact. This bike here, the entire front end was destroyed. It was gone. When I had to rebuild this bike, it had over $10,000 worth of damage on it. So I'm really glad that both the wheels are actually okay on this bike. They are pretty disgusting, like in terms of the color. I don't know why you would have like really weirdly purple wheels. Like they're just wrong. They've got to be changed straight away. We can't have weirdly red wheels on a bike that comes out of my factory, that's for sure, or my garage. Okay, so things that are really cool with this bike. It's got Brembo M50s, so massive pot brakes on these. It's also got the 330mm discs, which came out on the 2017 RF model. It's got Öhlins. So one of the best things is this bike has a full Öhlins package. So not only does it have Öhlins here, it's also got the Öhlins damper as well. And it's the manually adjustable damper. It's not the automated damper, which is better because it means less, well, I'm gonna say shit, but less stuff goes wrong with it. Someone's put some Duca bike adjusters on here for preload. So that's cool, or damping, preload damping. I'm not quite sure which one's probably one, one's probably the other. And just back to the front forks, someone has put these dust covers on it. So I can only assume that the person that owned it, okay, that dust cover's ruined, look at that, that's gone. Acuribus, whatever it's called. These have probably protected, or try and get that off later. Yeah, they would have protected the stems and everything. So I don't even know if I need to do a fork rebuild on this because chances are it's actually in pretty good nick. Okay, now as much as I just said these are broken, these are a massive selling point for me because every time I build a bike, I'm looking at $1,000 to get rear sets. The Moto rear sets, to get them imported from the UK to here is about $1,000. And if you see that, there's a bit of flex in them. I reckon I can actually fix these. So I've gone ahead and ordered a new foot peg because if you look at that one, it's gone. So new foot peg on the way. I've already got some replacement parts for this rod, so fingers crossed I can fix that as well. And then the same on this side, but this Moto rear set is absolutely perfect. So I'll have to drop that down and back because let's face it, I'm 6'3", I'm not 5'2". Very, very cool. Next thing is the Öhlins TTX rear shock, which it looks like it's got another one of these sock covers on it, the RNG Racing sock cover. So, I mean, that's gonna come off. I'm not gonna keep that on there because I think it takes away from the aesthetics of the bike and people wanna see that. They wanna see the TTX standing out. So, it's got a Rizoma oil cap, which someone has actually lock wired. So I'm gonna guess this bike has actually been on track before, and I wouldn't be surprised. The reason why it got to auction in the first place could be because someone maybe crashed it on track and then claimed it as a road accident. Because it happens, but why not? I mean, come on, if you've got an RSV4RF, who wouldn't track it? Same battery I use in all my builds, super light, SSB Power Sport Lithium. These are around about $220, so that's actually good to have, better than having a lead battery in there. Everything in here also looks like it's all in one piece, just dusty as heck. It's like all Aprilia RRs and RFs, it comes with all of the engine protection as well, which means that saves me probably in the vicinity of around $500. So it means I don't have to go out and buy GB Racing engine covers because it just has all of the covers on all the important parts of the engine. Massive bonus. Okay, another reason why I bought this bike is the RR and RF are one of the only super bikes that came out in 2017 with an adjustable rear swing arm pivot. So I think you can adjust up and down 1.5 mil or more, I can't remember. But that in its time was quite revolutionary. Even my V4 Panigale does not have that. So you've got to go to a V4R Panigale to get an adjustable swing arm pivot. So this bike has a lot of potential, but we're also about to mix up how we build bikes on this channel. No longer am I going to do builds over months. We're now talking builds over just a few episodes. And if I can, I'll even get it into 24-hour, one episode build episodes for the whole bike. I hope that made sense. But I don't see the point in making you watch for 3 months to see a build complete. I want to get them in, I want to get them out the door. So that's the change we're making. And the next part is how you're going to see that happen.
Honey, I got what you want. Give me all of your love, 'cause it's burning hot. It's what you do to me, babe, I can guarantee.
So as you can see, I'm true to my word. I want to speed these builds up, and I've known about this bike for 2 weeks, which has given me a 2-week lead time to go out and buy everything that I could possibly think that I would need based on the original photos that I was given of the bike. And I've spent a lot of money. I've spent far too much. And the biggest risk is the bike won't even work. So is this a waste of money, or is it actually gonna pay off? This is the make or break moment, because I've got something which is probably the best bargain I've ever picked up. I've picked up a dash, an ignition and a top triple, and an ECU combo kit, including a key, for $299. Yes, that's right, $299. And this is probably the key to whether or not this bike is going to be worth what I paid for it, and I guess a good investment. So I can do away with this ignition, I can do away with the ECU, I can, even if I wanted, I can even replace the dash, which I probably will. And that way everything is coded exactly the same. I don't have to worry about any coding issues. And even better than that, apparently this ECU is pre-race tuned. So I've just saved myself close to $1,000 on tuning this bike, maybe. We're still gonna have to do a dyno run, don't get me wrong, but if it produces good horsepower numbers, look out. So next up, what I think I'll do is I'll take the battery off. I'll start replacing all of this, put the battery back in and see if we've got power. If we've got power, that means we can move to the next step, which is doing a quick service on the bike, and then fingers crossed, we'll try and get it started as well. I don't know if you guys are as nervous as me, but this is the part where I just go, shit, have I just wasted a ton of money? I hate touching batteries. I don't know why, there's just something about it. I always think it's gonna kill me. It's probably only a tiniest little voltage jolt if I get it, but something about touching a battery I hate. Doesn't want to come off, eh? This fuel clip. I'm just going to rest it on my head because I'm a real mechanic. Oh, come on, you bitch. Not you, the bike. Ah, got it. And I got fuel all over my head. Yeah. One fuel tank off. The battery's off. It should be nice and safe to remove and replace the ECU. I don't know why I'm cleaning the old one, but this whole project, we're gonna track how much we're spending and how much we're actually making back. So, ECU, dash, maybe the old ignition, even though there's no key, and the extra top triple I've got. I'm gonna sell those things for combined value of, let's go, 800, 500, this is Australian dollars, 800, 500, and say 200, what's that, 1,500 Australian, so around about $2 American. And that will actually recoup a fair bit of the money that was spent to buy this bike, even though we got the bike super, super cheap. So now we're just gonna take this ECU off, and it should come off super easy. Done. That was nervous. Okay, so it was too good to be true. There is a slight breakage, but I think I can fix it because there's the original dash off the bike. The back of it has got all 3 mounting points. Here's the new dash I bought. That mounting point is broken. So I'm pretty sure this whole outer protection thing comes off so I can switch them over. Up here for thinking. Job done. Hey, job done. Next up, I'm gonna take the top triple off, and then we should be able to get the ignition off. So I've just quickly drilled that out and then used a reverse, what is it called, a nut puller. Screw that out of there, so that means I can just take this side off and the whole ignition should just come off. Just a bit of a clean. And that one's ready to go on. Okay, so I've got the new dash, I've got the new ECU, I've got the new ignition plugged in as well, and I've got the battery back on with a tender charger. So I'm gonna put a tender charger on every bike now, just because it makes it so much easier to trickle charge them. So this is the moment of truth. Will this bike actually get power? I mean, the battery could be flat for all I know, but let's try it. All we're looking for is power. We're not gonna try and start the bike. Cross your fingers. Yes! That is absolutely awesome. And the dash is good. Yeah, there's a couple of little issues on the dash. There's a couple of little errors showing up, but it's just the ATC disabled and the alarm service. This is very, very good news. This means we can actually do a service on the bike now and try and start it in this episode. Awesome. But before I do that, I actually don't want to do the jobs twice. So this bar here is really bent. You can see how bent that bar is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, whilst we've got the top triple off, I'm going to switch out this bar. And then when I switch out that bar, I might as well switch these out as well, because we're not going to be using these. We've got a special treat for this bike, and also get rid of this lumpy thing as well. So that was just to test the bike. Now that we know it works, we don't actually need it. So let's clean up this whole front end and then service the bike and then see if we can get it to start. Right, so we picked this up, $59. It's not perfect and we're not gonna keep it forever because we are going to order a nice new set of clip-ons, but this is just so we can actually start putting things together, and this one's not bent. We've got the left side switchgear, Jet Prime left side switchgear. This shit looks awesome. So we can play with whatever colors we want on that. And then we've got the start stop button, the Jet Prime start stop button. Start stop. Oh no, I ordered red. Oh, whoops. Oh well, we got a red one. So we can put all this on now and then clean this whole bike up. So check this out, that's all come off. Look at the bend in that, that is crazy. So let's put this new one on and then we'll start putting some of these race buttons on. So the front is mostly put back together. I've just got to put the actual buttons on the switchgear. And the reason why I love using these OEM clip-ons on the Aprilias and the Ducatis is they have locator pins which tie them in at the perfect angle to the top triple. So you don't have to worry about trying to configure the angle of your clip-ons. Easy job. Now, I've just realized that on this side, on the right hand, on the throttle side, I've bought the switchgear, which is just single-sided. I'll show you what I mean. So it doesn't come with a back clamp. It's supposed to use the clamp off the brake and clamp directly onto it. So I really want to get this bike started, but I might as well finish up the front a little bit cleaner. So what I've done is I jumped back on eBay again and I found what I would have to say is one of the best bargains of this build. I found an RC19 Corsa Quarter for, I think I paid $120 for this. And it came with another Brembo reservoir as well, which standalone is about $40 or $50. So what would normally be $400 or $500, 120 bucks. And that's what's gonna make this build hopefully worthwhile if it starts. Well, I'll eat my own words because whilst I've got an RC19 that fits, I can't back the switchgear straight onto the RC19 because they're actually offset. So, and I can't use the reverse piece, the bracket of the original, the OEM brake lever, because it's straight up and down as well. See, the center holes are lined straight up and down. I need the offset Jet Prime one. So two options, I either get Andy, my mate with the Tuono, to make me one on the 3D printer, which would be pretty cool, probably carbon reinforced, or I try and find a Jet Prime one for this bike. I'm thinking we let Andy do it. Also just quickly cleaned up this back section, so I removed the other piece of fairing that was on there and took this off. And check this out, this is actually an EP, Evotech Performance Tail Tidy. So with the indicators, I reckon this is probably, oh look, I'm gonna say another $150. yeah, I'll just clean it up a little bit. More money, eBay. So something else I can sell, the original Brembo Master. That'll probably fetch around another 150 as well. Now some of you are probably looking at this going, that's pretty ratty to put on a new build. So I've actually got a new one. And I picked this up dirt cheap, $60. So it's actually original Brembo. It was just excess stock. So that's gonna go on there and look nice and neat. No, you are kidding me. The lever doesn't fit. Ah, I see. That there on this one is curved. See? That's curved and that's got an L lip on it. So that fits neatly into that. And this one doesn't. Yet another of my bargains has turned to shit. Starting to look like I'm not as good at eBay as I thought I was. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna list this RC19 for sale for about $250, and I'm going to call one of my sponsors, Moto Mia, and get them to get me a CNC Racing RC19 Brembo. That way I'll know everything fits. That's what I should have done in the first place. I don't know why I didn't. You live and you learn. So we're getting pretty close now. I think I've done literally everything I need to do, but why don't I just chuck the new air filter in anyway? Like, it's easier to do it now than pulling the tank back off again. Because once I do this, I can quite literally put the tank on, try and get the bike started, and then just start adding bling, performance parts, and really actually kicking off the build properly. So let's do that. I just gotta undo, I think it's 6 screws around the airbox, pull it back, slide this in, job done. Just slide straight in like that, and then this locks it in place, I think. Like that. Like that, there we go. Okay, new filters in. Okay, are you ready? Because I'm not really. I always get nervous around this time because this is a make or break, so fingers crossed. Power on. Now, there's almost no fuel in the tank, so I don't even know if I need to go and top up first. So I'll just prime it a couple of times first. It's priming okay. Okay, she's in neutral. Here goes nothing. Man, it sounds awesome. It sounds so good. This sounds way, oh, it smells a bit. This sounds way better than the double R that I did. This AR Racing, Austin Racing exhaust just sounds mint. I'll see if I can open up the garage door, shut the door to the house so I don't smell the house out. Let's see if I can get this to run for a little bit and get it on camera. Okay, garage door open, check. You gotta hear this baby up close. Like that AR Racing exhaust sounds awesome. On. Oh, what's going on now? Okay, I'm actually getting a bit of smoke in here, so I'll turn it off, but damn. Man, that sounds awesome. Yeah, look at the smoke coming out. Wow, I guess it hasn't been started for a while, so it's probably got a whole bunch of oil in it from when it was crashed, like sitting in the pipes and on all the breather tubes and everything, so I wouldn't be surprised if I can actually get it to run for a while, if I probably end up having quite a bit of smoke come out of it. So there you go, thanks for watching. Another epic build. Only probably another couple of episodes and this bike's gonna be complete. So we've got heaps of stuff coming, heaps of bling, heaps of carbon, new bodywork, custom paint job, custom decals, custom everything. Stay tuned, like, subscribe, you know the drill.